What it do, baby? Thank you for liking, watching, subscribing. Everyone that joined the Vegeta Saiyan Army group, thank you guys for all the help. This guy came out last week, and I did a video talking about my impressions, what I thought about him, and the rest of the deck. But now we actually have the other cards revealed, because they revealed the rest of the cards for green, and I'm sure we'll have more TPs, maybe a secret rare that goes with the deck, maybe more cards, but we know what the deck does now. And not just that, I've been playing them all week. And if you're in the Vegeta Saiyan Army group, you know that I've been posting all of my results for the untap games. If you play an untap ever and you played this week, you probably saw me there playing this deck. And the deck is, this leader is so good. It's not attached to the green stuff, even though the green stuff is amazing. And I learned a lot this week playing him. He's a yellow Broly or like a Gotenks, but better. Jiren had one of the best front sides I've ever seen in my life. So did Broly, so did Gotenks. But like this dude is the same, but double strike and a 5k pump. Like it's absurd. Like it's working so well. Just for those of you that don't know, if you're new and you want to pick up a deck coming up in the next set, we don't even know all the leaders are out. I want to say this is the best leader in the game, but I cannot, because it's dumb to say that about a leader that hasn't even come out. And there's so many leaders that are tried and true, like Vegeta and Invoker, and it's absurd to say that, right? But if you just look at them, and now I've tested them against a lot of decks, tier 2 to 1, depending on what people play on untap, and it's clapping cheeks. Like, it's doing really good. When he attacks, you take the life and you draw. So you're self-awakening, you're drawing, and he gets 5k and double strike. That's so good. That's like beyond good. When he's at 5 life, he untaps 2, which I love. And he has Overlord, right? So Overlord makes you bottom deck a card with Servant, and you draw a card when you do that. So he potentially can draw 3 cards a turn, right? So yeah, the leader has just been overperforming. A lot of people don't like that he takes a life on the backside, but that's just dumb because he's an aggro leader. So anytime we see that, like if you see it on like a control leader, maybe that's bad. Like if people made Oob back in the day and people made him to be control, I'm like, yeah, that's dumb because. But if you're an aggro leader, like we remember how well the yellow Broly deck used to take its own life in the backside. So you know that's crazy, and here it's crazy as well. So this guy has Overlord on this side as well, and his activate main is for 1 green. You can look at the bottom card of the deck, and if it's a Vegeta that's 3 costs or less, that's green with the tag of Servant on it, you can play it for that 1 energy. And then activate main once per turn. You can take a life, you can draw a card, and you get a 5k and double strike. So he's 20k double on the like. This leader is absurd because you can be so aggressive, and then on the clapback you're not gonna get bodied because you're green and you have like dormant potential unleashed attached to you. So let's go into some of the new cards. And by the way, as of the recording of this video, I cannot give you guys a deck list because Shenron's Lair and DBS decks haven't updated their their cards. So we don't have all the cards here on the system, so I can't. But as soon as it's there, I will post a video and I'll talk about it. Okay, the guy to the left here, anyone that says this card's not good is fucking high. Like this card is busted. The 3-drop Prince of Destruction Vegeta to your left here, it's double strike, and it's got Servant, which means it gets 10,000 power, right? But at the end of the turn, or on the charge phase, it doesn't untap. Once per turn, if your opponent uses a counter skill, he stands up. But like none of this matters. It's basically a 1-drop 30k double strike. That's like Bardock, the black Bardock for red leaders this set. He's just gonna stand up if somebody uses a counter. So the first thing I would do, right, before the rest of the cards were spoiled, is I would play this guy for turn 3, swing, right, then awaken, and then bring him back with leader ability. Like you can use the Servant, the Overlord ability on the front side to bottom deck him, awaken, tap 1, and then bring him back. And then servant again. You know what I mean? Like, and you're drawing 2 cards. Like, this dude is so ridiculous. Like, the fact that he doesn't untap on a charge phase is the most irrelevant thing in the world because he's never gonna be in the charge phase. So that gets dumb. That's like, I don't know. That's like if Overwhelm cards said if your leader is red, this card gets minus 30,000. I'm like, okay, well, it's not if it's on a Toa leader or something, like it's just completely irrelevant. The middle one is Mighty Strike, Prince of Destruction, Vegeta. It's a 2-drop counterattack, and this is one of the new cards. I've only tested it today, but it's really freaking good. So you negate for 2, you play a 15k body. It's a servant card, so it gives you more servants to play early on for your Overlord ability, and it searches the top 7 for a Unison with a specified cost of 3. Now, the real winner that just got revealed today is the Great Saiyaman card. Because when you combo with them, you draw 2 cards and you bottom deck a card from your hand. So it makes bottom decking the Prince of Destruction so much easier. It's just like, this Saiyaman card is so godsend. He also looks hilarious. He looks like Ja Rule if he was white. Like, look at, he got a do-rag and he's got the Ray-Bans on. He literally looks like 2003 Nelly. Like, I love Saiyaman, bro. But the servant cards are good. Again, I'm sure they're going to reveal more. I'm sure they're going to show us more later. Maybe a TP, a champ pack, who knows. We might get a secret rare. But so far, this is the meat and potatoes of the deck, and I'm just here to tell you, you don't have to run these servant cards for it to be good. Like, just look at the effect of the leader, and you can build an aggro deck out of that, and it's going to be busted, right? Like, the deck is just very free, and it's very powerful. Next is the Boo engine, which is also, like, super free. You're looking at a field card, right? That can come in for free if you play the Babidi, Evil Mind Snatcher. When you play Babidi, it activates the field card from the deck, which is nuts. Or if you play Babidi, you can look at the top 7 for a servant Vegeta, which is really useful. You can use one of the 2s. Every time a life is dealt, you have a life dealt to yourself, you grab a card from the top of your deck and you put it under the Majin Quickening, and when there's 4 under there, you can play a 3-drop Green Boo from your deck or your drop area, which is cool. Because if one of the cards top decked was put under the Quickening, you can play one of those, because everything is put in the drop area when you trigger the Quickening effect. The 2 3-drops that are the targets for this are the Ghastly Energy, and they're looking for a Fight Majin Buu. One has Barrier, one has Deflect, one KOs, one takes away a marker from a Unison. Both really good. It depends what your matchup is, but the fact that they play from the deck or drop area is sick, because I run them at 2 each. Like, you can run it at whatever, but you're basically going to be mulliganing for the Quickening or the Babidi at the beginning of the game. This shit's just free. Like, you're literally playing a 20k for free, and it's a 20k that evolves into something really powerful. So, like, I don't see a reason not to run the Buu Chain. The Buu Chain is just, like, insane. Once you play the 20k and you swing with it, you grab a 3-star ball, you put it under it, right? You flip him to active mode, and then you play a Majin Buu Dark Parasite from your hand or the deck. So I run him at 3, I think, or 2. I could change that number, who knows? And he has Deflect, which is sick, right? And then when you play him, if I remove a marker from one of my Unisons, when this card's played, you choose one of your opponent's Unison cards and remove a marker from it. So now that's 2 markers removed. And then your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and one of their battle cards and place them in a drop area. This is just, like, dumb, because it has a remote Serious Bomb, like, built into them. So, and again, everything that's been done here has been free. Like, the only part that's not free is you have to pay 1 energy for the SR, which, again, paying 1 for a dual attack double striker that's 25k is, like, ridiculous, because he's amazing, obviously. So what I've been doing is, like, I'll play the 7-drop, I'll swing twice, and then I'll use, like, Belmod to KO him, and maybe, like, an Overwhelm card or, like, a Servant, and I'll just use that to proc the Broly secret rare. Like, I've been doing that recently, and it's really good. But when he's removed by an opponent's skill, you get to play the 3-drop Boo from a drop, and grab a Dragon Ball from your drop area and put it in your hand. So it just cycles the whole thing all over again. Like, the thing is broken. Like, you can run the Vegeta leader without this chain, but why would you? Because it's just so good. Then they released, for some reason, this like insane finisher in the Prince of Destruction Vegeta Prideful Warrior there to your left. Deflect, 4-drop, triple strike, Servant. So he's 30k, that's what Servant basically tells you. And when he's played, you choose one of your opponent's Unison cards and remove 3 markers for it. So you're taking 3 markers out of someone, and he's 30k triple strike with Deflect. Like, this deck is so stupid. And I don't think I'd even run this 4-drop, because all of my games are winning turn 2 to 3. I'm playing the 1-drop, Double Strike Dodoria, I'm playing Surprise Attack Frieza. This is a Unison that I'm showing you guys right here, the Dark Broly, Overwhelming Evil. I've been testing it, but Demigra to me seems like the play. Like, because Demigra comes in for a 1, then he's going to get 2 counters, and he's going to help you fuel your field card when your opponent attacks Demigra, right? And he's always going to have 2 markers. That's the thing, too. And that's relevant when you're playing Charismatic Villain Frieza. I don't know. I just feel like I trust Demigra more. I've used all of them. I tried Cooler, and again, it's a 4-drop, so I just never see turn 4 with this deck. This deck wins turn 3. And a lot of decks that I'm playing against, a lot of decks that people are playing, like, set up turn 3. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, what am I going to mulligan for? I'm going to mulligan for the 3-drop Invoker Vegeta. And I'm like, bro, you need to mulligan for your turn 1 and 2. Because you need to find Topo. You need to find some shit. You need something to stop my turn 3. Because it's, like, incredibly aggressive. I play the 1-drop green Saiyan Kabas. You know, like the 1-drop 15k double strikers. So I play Dodoria, I go very aggressive. Awaken, Power, Bardock is something I play a lot. I also play the Belmont, like I said before, to go into the Broly secret rare, by obviously using Belmont to KO the 7-drop. But if you like the Dark Broly, Overwhelming Evil, which I might, I mean, I always test everything a lot before I say I like it or dislike it. And this card is extremely good. I just feel like usually I want to have my Unison out turn 2. So this guy's 3-drop, double strike for 20k, which is really good. But when a marker is removed from him, my opponent drops a card. So in that whole Boo chain, if you can do that and play this dude, they're dropping 3 cards, and their Unison is losing 4 markers if I'm doing the math right. But it's a lot of shit that this Unison can do, right? So the +2 is you can choose 1 card from your hand and drop it, and then your opponent chooses one of their cards and drops it. So that's the second card, right? Then they choose one of their battle card and KOs it. So you've basically done 2 remote series bombs now. The +0 is if either card is green, choose up to one of your opponent's Unison cards and remove a marker from it. All of those are just very busted. It might be a bit sacky. Again, like, I can see myself just running Demigra. I'm going for a very hyper aggro, like turn 3 kill type of deck. But believe me, I'm going to try everything possible for this deck. Like, deck's really good. Some of the auxiliary cards I see here, I love this Final Explosion card. But let's talk about Demon God Deborah Dark Dominion. All the way to the bottom left here. If your little card is green, if you drop that card from your hand and you choose one of your Unisons, and remove a marker from it, you can grab a Dark Dragon Ball from your deck or drop area and put it to your hand. This is good because, like, when you're mulliganing, what you want to keep is the ball, the 7-drop, and the field card, or the Babidi that activates the field card. Because those are the only 3 cards that don't just get played automatically. So that's what you're looking for. What you really want, though, is the ball and the 1-drop. Like, everything else just falls into your lap, really. The leader's doing most of the work. Everything else is just, like, icing on the cake. This 2-drop Deborah is cool when, if your leader card is green and you choose one of your Unison cards and remove a marker from it, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's Unison cards and remove a marker from it. So this deck has, like, bot removal on like freaking unisons now, which is super sweet. But Final Explosion is awesome because your leader is gonna have 20k double strike, but with Final Explosion for 1 green, you can give it 10,000, and then you can remove a counter from a unison on your unison and their unison. So this deck is very aggressive about taking up like killing people's unisons, and it's awesome. The BBD 2-drop here is interesting because he has Overlord, which means you can Overlord with your leader and then with BBD. So if they introduce cheaper like servants that you can, I guess, keep looping, this is gonna be really good. When this card is removed from your battle area, you can grab a servant from your hand that's 3-drop or less and then play it. That's neat. I don't see myself playing any of these cards. Maybe Demon God Deborah. Maybe. I just don't feel like it. The deck is tight. I built it again running 1-drop double strikers, surprise attack Frieza, Belmod. The rest of the deck is just aggro. I'm running 2 of each 3-drop Boo, like 4 of the 7-drop. Like, it's a tight deck, but it's not like I don't have to run any of those cards. I just choose to run the Boo Chain. Like, the deck is really good, really aggressive. Turn 3, like it kills people turn 2 to 3. Like, um, so yeah, when as soon as the Shenron's Lair database is updated, I'm gonna show you guys my deck. There's a lot of things, a lot of neat things you can do with this deck. There's a lot of cool shit you can do, but I think aggro is the way. Sure, you can do like a pseudo hand destruction variant. You can do whatever you want, but I feel like aggro is just gonna push your opponent's shit in. Like, I feel like this is one of the best leaders I've ever seen in this game. And I know I'm biased because I love Vegeta, but dog, like, this leader is wild. Like, this leader is wild and out. It's a built-in double striker that doesn't have to attack a leader to do it. Like, if you're attached to your unisons, watch out, man. Like, you hate to see it. Like, this deck is really good. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Stick around. Join Vegeta Saiyan Army group on Facebook. It's a Vegeta group. Finally, we have a good Vegeta leader to talk about. The discussions there. Thank you guys for watching again. I'll see y'all next time.